Morning, everyone. My name is, for those of you who don't know me, my name is John Tsapogas. I'm Director of Award Pre-Proposal Support here at the Research Foundation, and I'd like to welcome you all today. I'll be moderating today's event. We have quite a group of people who will be presenting. Let me just say a few words about our office here. Office of Pre-Award Support was established about 2 years ago. The whole purpose of it is to help provide CUNY faculty and students develop and submit competitive grant applications. And we do a variety of different activities. One of them, of course, is holding workshops like these and trying to bring together program officers from various agencies and various organizations so that you can meet with them and find out a little bit more about what's happening out there in the grant world. Today's forum is called the Defense and Intelligence Forum. It began as a small idea with colleagues when I was first hired, and after conversations with administrators and faculty, it became very apparent to me that this is an area, this is not only an area of great interest to faculty, but it's also an area where we do have faculty who do have grants with defense agencies, DoD. And I should say, when we say defense agencies, when it comes to national defense, there are two agencies that are major importance. Of course, the Department of Defense, about $80 billion. When it comes to R&D, there's $63 billion the Department of Defense spends on R&D. Only a small portion goes to university colleges. A lot of it has to do with funding going to industry and also other kinds of performers. And of course, the Department of Energy, which is also a significant player, about 10% of $6-7 billion a year. The Department of Energy spends on R&D. Let me turn to the agenda that you should have in your packets. We're going to have welcoming remarks as soon as I'm through from Josh Brumberg, Dean of Sciences at the Graduate Center. And then at about 11:15, we'll have program officer presentations, Tom Rondeau from DARPA and R.G. Nachman from the Air Force Office of Scientific Research. We're going to break for lunch. Lunch is provided. Lunch will be served in the you can pick up your lunch packets around the corner in the kitchen, and you're allowed to bring lunch in here and in this room. If you notice in front of your tables, there are these microphones. If you want to ask a question, this session is being taped. If you want to ask a question, please hit the button. If you hold the button down, there will be a red light that comes on. That will be an indicator to you that the microphone is actually on. Okay? If you appear to have some problems with that, you can come up to the microphone here and ask a question. So let me just say a few words. So why is this Defense and Intelligence Forum so important? Why are we having it? Why is CUNY interested in it? Right after the end of World War II, a well-known 1945 report was written by Vannevar Bush. Vannevar Bush, among other things, was an inventor, and as well as the country's first science advisor. He was the first science advisor to President Truman. He basically was the architect of today's current structure, federal structure, federal involvement in research and development. Congress, in response, established the Office of Naval Research in 1946, and then formed the Air Force Office of Scientific Research and the Army Research Office in 1951. The National Science Foundation was established in 1950. Again, in his book, Endless Frontier, he recommended these organizations be established for the purpose of supporting research. I should say, when the NSF was established, one of the main justifications for creating NSF was national defense. In fact, NSF's enabling legislation says that the fundamental research and related education programs supported by the federal government and conducted by the nation's universities and colleges are essential to our national security first. National security first. Health, economic and welfare, and general well-being. So that is the NSF's enabling legislation. DoD, of course, is heavily involved in fundamental research, just like 99% of NSF's budget is basic research. DoD's smaller portion of DoD's budget is in fundamental research, but very important part. And the DoD funding has produced this steady stream of game-changing science and engineering discoveries, including lasers, atomic clocks, global positioning system, computer mouse, night vision technology, the airborne laser, gallium arsenide electronics, high-efficiency jet engine compressor blades, and chemical agent decontamination. And last but not least, the ARPANET, which is the forefront of the internet. So as you can see, these investments have changed the world and continue to do so. So we have to look at the DoD funding from that lens, the accomplishments that have been made. So what I want to do is just kind of put this in context in terms of, so these two slides, the top slide is just kind of gives us how much federal investments there are in R&D to universities and colleges. As you can see, there are two categories, universities and colleges, and then university administered FFRDCs. The FFRDCs are pretty much block grants or kind of contributions to centers that the federal government has established and funds, but operated by universities. So that funding is separate. When you look at the universities and colleges category, that's more your individual investigator type of deals. So you can see NIH is a huge, when it comes to this, NIH is a huge player. Followed by NSF, Department of Energy, NASA, and Department of Defense. But what's interesting here is that Department of Energy and NASA funds a lot of its activities through university FFRDCs. And when you look at individual investigator awards, it's Department of Defense comes in third after NSF. It's $17.8 billion, $17.8 billion, $4.8 billion from NSF, $2.5 billion from the Department of Defense, 1.4 from the Department of Energy, 1.2 from NASA. So I want to kind of give you the landscape for how much defense agencies are funding universities and colleges, especially that category. Most of that funding is going to calls, competitions, announcements that you're all familiar with. But when you look at DoD obligations, I want to give you a sense as to who some of the bigger players are. And in there, it's clearly the Navy, DARPA, Air Force, Army, and then some of the other defense agencies. So that kind of gives you a little bit of the research funding landscape when it comes to defense. Okay, I am going to stop there. I'd like my colleague from the Graduate Center to come up, Josh Brumberg, who is the Dean of Sciences.
One thing I've learned in this position is that you didn't come here to hear me speak, so I'll be very brief. I wanted to start some thanks. All good ideas, all come from the faculty, and if it comes from the dean, it's by definition a bad idea. So I want to thank Alexei Obenikov in the front row here sitting next to John, who came to me about a year ago with this saying, how come we don't have a workshop around Department of Defense funding? So Alexei and Delram Kohlrabi met with me about a year ago. That kind of, and you'll hear from her later today, got this idea going. And thanks to John Tsapogas, who really did a lot of the legwork. And of course, thanks to Dr. Revido and Dr. Nachman, who braved the Northeast Corridor to be with us today. As John, one thing, that slide that John just shared with you is something that when you're an individual investigator, especially someone like myself who's in the environmental fields, you don't necessarily think about the Department of Defense and the incredible impact that their funding has at the basic science level at universities throughout America. And one thing that's very clear when we did a little analysis is that CUNY has a great potential to take advantage of many of these funding streams. And part of the reason why CUNY faculty may not be advantaging themselves of these funding streams is just not knowing about it. So hopefully, I know there's a lot of grants officers in this room today. Hopefully, the announcements that you probably got in your email so much that you just reflexively pressed delete has begin to raise the awareness, and I'm very interested in hearing about the processes involved with DoD funding, which I'm assuming are very different from what we traditionally think about in terms of NSF and NIH funding. And so the important thing to note is all of this helps you, the faculty, helps our students most of all, and helps boost the research infrastructure here at CUNY. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it back to John and thank everyone for coming.